This is your blind techno geek that explores iOS and Android, and today's our obligatory What's on My Pixel 4. Okay, so I'm on the apps list because I just don't know. My home screen is completely disorganized, and I have predictive apps turned on for some reason, and struggling with how to turn it off. So
Amazon Music, Amazon
okay,
Alexa, voice search,
starting with Amazon A Lady.
Amazon Music,
And Amazon
double
Music.
tap to activate.
Those are
Double
all
tap and hold to long press.
self-explanatory.
Actions available.
Lately,
Use tab
I
with
have
3
been
fingers to view.
using Amazon Music, even though it's not the most accessible thing in the world, because I want to be able to, number one, I got a free trial, so it was great. And number two, playing music on my A-Lady devices without actually having to use Bluetooth on my iPhone has been very nice. I did use Spotify for a while, but then when I switched to iPhone, I ended up on the Apple Music again.
Amazon Shopping.
Amazon
Double
Shopping's
tap to activate.
also
Double tap and hold to long press.
self-explanatory.
Action. Anchor. Double tap to
Anchor
activate.
is,
Double
of
tap and
course,
hold to
the
long
app
press.
that I use for
Actions
my
available. Use tab
podcast.
with 3 fingers to view.
And I'm seriously thinking about not doing the podcast anymore because I'm getting more views on this YouTube channel. That's inspiring me to make more videos for the YouTube channel. And the podcast is no longer distributed by Anchor. You have to self-distribute. And that process has been a bit of a nightmare for me. I keep getting error messages.
Android Auto.
Android Auto is like iPhone's CarPlay, which I'm sure that none of us, being visually impaired, really do drive a car. So, I mean, some of you might have as much vision. Sorry, that was my blind shell phone. Some of you might have enough vision to drive a car, but maybe you use it when you're on a Lyft with a Lyft driver, or on a bus, on a long trip or whatever. Actually, on the bus, you'd use earbuds, but anyway.
Apple Music.
Apple Music I still have on here too. It actually works pretty well on the Pixel. Audible, of course, is Amazon's audiobooks.
Actions available. Bible Gateway.
Bible Gateway is self-explanatory. Blindy Match is a game. And honestly, it kind of reminds me of Mancala, where you have to match certain colors of gems.
Broadsides. Double tap to activate.
That's Choice of Broadsides. That was one of the first games that I ever played when I was getting an iPad. When I had my iPad, I had only had the iPad a couple of weeks before I started playing it.
Amazon Alexa.
Whoops.
Amazon.
Sorry, guys.
Anchor.
Didn't mean to trigger that.
Android Auto. Apple Music. Audible. Bible Gateway. Blindy Match. Broadsides. Calculator.
Calculator self-explanatory.
Calendar.
Calendar self-explanatory, and it's Google's Calendar. Camera self-explanatory.
Cash App.
Cash App is self-explanatory. I don't know why I still have Cash App because I use PayPal mostly now. Chrome is self-explanatory. Clock is self-explanatory. Contacts is self-explanatory.
Crafting Kingdom.
Crafting Kingdom.
Double tap and hold to long press. Actions available. Use tap with 3 fingers to view.
That's a game where you craft items and you build your palace, and you have to do upgrades that'll make you start over in the game, and that's a pain in that game. But to be completely honest with you right now, it works better on Android because the Android version actually sends you notifications, whereas the iOS version used to send you notifications, but then it stopped. And I do play it on my Kindle, by the way.
Cut ringtone and cut music. Double tap to activate.
Cut music and cut ringtone. I've used that to cut files and make ringtones.
Dice World has 11 notifications.
It's pretty accessible, and of course, Dice World is that game that I said was an absolute must-play for social iPhone and Android gamers that are looking for a social game, because it's like the only one that really works.
Discord. Double tap to activate.
Discord, of course, is self-explanatory, but I did explain it a little bit in my What's on My iPhone video.
Docs. Double tap to activate.
That's Google Docs. That's Google Drive. Duo is Google Duo. I do use that with only a certain handful of people. Probably my favorite video calling app, apart from the iOS FaceTime, would probably be Facebook Messenger at this point.
Envision AI.
Envision AI, that is an app sort of kind of like Seeing AI, and I believe that it was only available on Android for a time, and then it went to the iPhone as well. Now it's a paid subscription, so I no longer use it. You can look at text, scenes, long text, short text. Pretty sure you can use it to identify your bills. The scene description was a little disappointing to me. I actually do have a sample of that recorded on my Olympus dictaphone, if I can actually find it.
Facebook.
Facebook is self-explanatory. Files, I bet you that I'm still logged into my old Facebook account, and I was going to say error, so I'm going to have to log into my new Facebook account using this particular phone.
Galactic Colonies.
Galactic Colonies.
Double tap and hold to long press. Actions available. Use tap with 3 fingers to view.
Is actually one of my favorite games on tablets. I have played it on the phone side before, and I actually got pretty far on my Pixel. And when I had a Galaxy phone, I did get the furthest I've ever been on that Galaxy phone. But I decided I prefer to play it on a tablet because of the way you're supposed to conquer the planets. You actually have this grid that is much easier to read on a tablet because it's a larger screen. And no, I don't actually read it. It does use accessibility. It uses the voiceover. For iPhone, it uses voiceover. For the Android side, both Galactic Colonies and Crafting Kingdom, you have to actually turn off TalkBack, so the accessibility works by itself in the Android version. I don't have Galactic Colonies on one of my iOS devices because it keeps crashing. So I'm actually finding it more of a pleasurable experience than on iPhone. Android is better on that game as well. So both Galactic Colonies and Crafting Kingdom are made by the same developer, Metal Pop Games.
Galaxy Wearable.
So
Double tap to activate. Double tap and hold to long
I
press.
described
Actions
Discord
available. Use tap with
servers
3
to you
fingers
in the
view.
What's on My iPhone. And so I am on Galactic Colonies Discord server. I'm also on Torn's Discord server. And I also described Torn, which is another game, in the What's on My iPhone.
Galactic Galaxy Wearable.
Galaxy Wearable,
Double
I
tap
don't
to
know why I
activate.
still have
Double
that on
tap
there
and hold
because
to
I
long
gave away
press.
my
Actions
Galaxy
available.
Watch to
Use
a
tap
buddy
with
of
3
mine
fingers to view.
who needed one.
Gmail has 17 notifications.
Gmail
Double tap
is
to activate. Double tap and hold to long
self-explanatory.
press. Google has 6 notifications.
Google is self-explanatory.
Double tap. Google 1.
Google
Double tap
One
to activate.
is
Double tap and hold to long press.
your
Actions available. Use
Forums
tap with
app,
3
and I
fingers to
got
view.
on that whenever I was using, when I was doing the Google Trusted Tester program, which is why I got this Pixel in the first place.
Google Pay. Double tap
Google
to
Pay
activate.
is
Double tap and hold to long press.
self-explanatory.
Actions available.
It's basically
Use tap with
Google's
3 fingers
version
to
of
view.
PayPal or the Cash App.
Google TV.
Google
Double
TV
tap
is
to
also
activate. Double tap and hold to
self-explanatory.
long press. Actions available. HMS Foraker.
HMS
Double tap to
Foraker
activate.
is actually
Double tap and
kind
hold
of
to
a
long
sequel
press.
to Choice
Actions
of
available. Use tap with
Broadsides.
3 fingers to view.
Not quite a sequel, actually. It's a, it actually is, set at a later date than, the original Choice of Broadsides. By the way, Choice of Games, that's one of the first set of games that blind people go to. So if you guys want a good text-based game for iPhone and Android, you want to download the Choice of Games app, and it'll open up a whole bunch of story games.
Home.
Home
Double
is
tap to
Google
activate.
Home.
Instagram.
Instagram
Double
is
tap to activate.
self-explanatory.
Keep notes.
Keep Notes
Double
is
tap to
Google
activate.
Keep.
Kindle.
Kindle
Double tap
is,
to activate.
of course,
Double
the
tap
Kindle
and
book
hold to long
reader.
press. Lookout. Double tap to
Lookout.
activate. Lookout.
I believe I have 2
Double tap to
lookouts on
activate.
here.
Double
One is
tap
that
and hold to long
spyware
press. Actions
program
available. Use
that
tap with 3 fingers to view.
I described in the What's on My iPhone, and actually I think I described that in What's on My Android, as well as, What's on My Blind Shell as well as What's on My iPhone. One is Google Lookout, the other is the spyware program, so that's why I have 2 lookouts on here.
Maps.
Maps
Double
is
tap to
Google
activate.
Maps.
Messages has 5 notifications.
Messages, I don't know
Double
why I
tap to
have 5
activate. Double
notifications
tap and
because
hold
I
to
don't
long
have no
press.
SIM
Actions
card in
available.
here.
Use tap with 3 fingers to view.
The SIM cards that I have are in the Blind Shell and in the iPhone, because I prefer to use iMessage if I'm not using the Blind Shell phone. So Messages shouldn't have 5 new items, but it does.
Drive has docs.
Yeah.
Drive has 4 notifications. View and Google Pay, Home, Keep, Kindle, Lookout,
My
Maps.
hand is in an
Messenger,
awkward
Messenger.
position. Messenger
Double
is
tap to activate.
self-explanatory.
Double
This is
tap and hold to
Facebook's
long press.
Messenger.
MeWe. Double
MeWe,
tap to activate. Double tap and hold to
if
long
you
press.
think I told
Actions
you that it
available.
worked
Use tap with
horribly
3
on the
fingers to view.
iPhone, oh my gosh, it works way worse on the Android. I don't know why I have kept it here. Maybe in hopes that they will fix it one day.
My chart.
My
Double tap
chart
to activate.
is
Double
the
tap and hold to long
old
press.
My
Actions
Duke
available.
chart,
Use
which
tap
I
with
had
3
on my
fingers to view.
iPhone. I gotta take that off of my Pixel. It has just been a long time since I've used this Pixel in the first place. So yeah, I definitely have a lot of clutter to clean up on the Pixel.
My radar.
My
Double tap to
radar is
activate.
my weather
Double tap and hold to
radar.
long press.
I was
Actions
testing it for
available. Use tap with
Android.
3
I like
fingers
the
to view.
iPhone version a little better.
News has 1 notification.
And that's
Double
because it's
tap to
got
activate.
its own
Double tap and
notification
hold to long
sound.
press.
News
Actions
is
available.
Google
Use tab with
News.
phone has 8 notifications.
Phone is
Double tap
self-explanatory.
Photos.
Photos
Double
is
tap to activate.
self-explanatory. It
Double
is
tap and hold to
Google's
long press.
Photos app.
Actions. Pixel tips.
Pixel
Double tap
Tips,
to
of
activate.
course,
Double
kind of
tap and hold to long
copying
press.
Apple's
Actions
tips.
available. Play games.
Play
Double tap to
Games
activate.
is
Double tap and hold to long
the
press. Actions
game
available. Use tab
center
with
of
3
the
fingers to view.
Android world.
Play music. Double tap to
Play
activate.
Music
Double
is,
tap and
of
hold to long
course,
press. Actions available. Use tab with
discontinued,
3
so
fingers
I
to
don't know
view.
why they have managed to keep it.
Play Store. Double
Play
tap to
Store
activate. Double tap
is
and hold to long press. Actions available.
the
Use
App
tab with 3
Store.
fingers. Pluto TV.
Pluto
Double tap to
TV
activate. Double tap and hold to long press.
is
Actions
basically
available.
where you
Use
get to
tab with
watch
3 fingers
live
to view.
TV and also movies for free. It uses the internet, so I use that rather than having a cable subscription.
Podcasts.
That's
Double tap to
Google
activate.
Podcasts.
Prime Video.
Prime
Double
Video
tap to
is
activate. Double tap and
self-explanatory
hold
as
to long
well.
press. Actions
I
available. Use
have
tab with
bought
3
some
fingers to
items
view.
on Prime Video that I now have downloaded to my Kindle so that I can travel with my favorite shows on my Kindle.
Quick support.
Quick
Double tap to
Support,
activate.
I
Double
believe,
tap
is
and hold to long
Google's
press. Actions
support
available.
app.
Use tab. Recorder. Double tap to
Recorder,
activate.
that's a voice
Double tap and hold to
recorder
long
app
press.
that was
Actions available. Use
added
tab
a
with 3
year
fingers to
ago or
view.
two by Google because they didn't have one for the longest time.
Safety. Double tap to activate.
Safety,
Double
I
tap and hold to
think.
long press. Actions available. Use tab with 3 fingers to view.
I'm not quite sure what that is.
Settings.
Settings
Double
is
tap to activate.
self-explanatory.
Sheets.
Sheets is
Double tap to activate.
self-explanatory.
Signal. Double
Signal
tap to
is,
activate.
of course,
Double tap
as
and
I
hold to long
described
press. Actions
on the
available.
What's on
Use
My
tab with 3 fingers
iPhone.
to view.
It's one of those WhatsApp alternatives that has security as one of their functionalities. One of the biggest draws for people to have gotten away from WhatsApp. I literally saw several friends switch from WhatsApp to Telegram and Signal. So I never know who's going to make the switch, so I have all 3 apps on most of my devices. I don't know if I have Telegram on here, I'll see. But of course, Signal is not available on the Blind Shelf phone as of yet. But I have written to the customer support to add Signal to that app catalog.
Skype. Double
Skype,
tap to
of course,
activate.
is
Double tap and hold to long press.
self-explanatory.
Actions available. Use
I
tab
don't
with
know
3
why I
fingers to
still
view.
use Skype, but of course I wanted to test Skype Lite on the Blind Shell as well.
Slides. Double
Slides,
tap to
that's
activate.
Google
Double
Slides, and
tap
I
and
never
hold to
use
long.
it.
Smart switch.
Smart
Double tap to
Switch
activate.
is
Double tap and hold to
Samsung's
long
Smart
press. Actions
Switch.
available. Use tab with
I
3
think
fingers
I
to
was
view.
trying to switch over to my Galaxy phone using the Pixel on Smart Switch. I don't remember if I ever ended up using Smart Switch because I actually was able to get all my data just by backing up this Pixel to Google Drive and then restoring my Galaxy when I first got it from that Google Drive backup. So that's another way to do it without actually downloading Smart Switch.
Sound amplifier.
Sound
Double tap to activate.
amplifier,
Double tap and hold to long
I'm
press.
pretty sure
Actions
that
available.
that's
Use tab with 3
for
fingers to view.
people that are deaf or partially deaf. I don't know if it can work with hearing aids. I would have to do some research into that.
Spotify. Double tap to
Spotify is
activate. Double tap and hold to
self-explanatory,
long
and
press.
again,
Actions
I don't
available.
use it
Use tab with
anymore,
3
so I'm going to
fingers
have
to
to
view.
get it off of several devices that I have.
Telegram.
Telegram,
Double
yes,
tap
I
to
do have
activate.
Telegram
Double tap
on
and
here.
hold
It's
to long
another
press.
WhatsApp
Actions available.
alternative
Use tab with 3
that
fingers
is
to view.
based on security.
Text now. Double
Text
tap to
now,
activate. Double tap and hold to long press.
I
Actions
had
available.
that
Use
so
tab
I
with
could
3 fingers
test
to view.
sending text messages from the Pixel to the iPhone and vice versa without having to keep swapping my SIM card. So I had at one point a Text Now number, which I don't have anymore, I don't think.
Tile. Double tap to activate.
Tile
Double
is, of
tap and hold to
course,
long
the
press.
Tile
Actions
app
available.
where
Use
you
tab with 3 fingers to view.
use it to find your lost keys, your lost phone, stuff like that. I had 4 tiles. I got them for Christmas 2019 when I got my Galaxy tablet, but I also let them run out of battery. Little knowing that COVID was going to come, I was going to use them mainly for work, and that never happened because I ended up starting to work from home entirely throughout the entirety of 2020. So they were useful, and yet it was not the right time for them. And I want to test out the Blind Shell beepers, which I may be using to replace my tiles.
Twitter. Double tap to
Twitter
activate.
self-explanatory.
Double tap and Untold.
Untold
Double
is
tap to
another one
activate.
of those
Double tap and hold
text-based
to long press.
games.
Actions
I've
available.
never
Use
been
tab
able to
with 3
get
fingers
past
to
the
view.
first battle. Maybe it's because I've played it on the Android side. And the Android side can be a bit slow because you've got pretty much live action battle when you're in battle. So I would probably recommend playing it on the iOS side and seeing if you can actually defeat the wild dog in the first battle.
Veloco. Double tap to activate. Double
Veloco
tap
I
and hold to long press.
described
Actions
in my
available. Use
What's
tab
on
with
My
3 fingers to view.
iPhone. It is a music app. You've got all sorts of beats, and they're beats that are in full. And of course, the BeatStars give you access to the stores, and you get to buy licenses to certain beats. And again, I've got an account for Android and an account for iPhone as well.
Verail. Double tap to activate. Double tap and hold to long press.
Verail is
Actions available.
your
Use tap with 3 fingers to view.
blind person app that you use to voice social media posts in audio format.
WhatsApp has 1 notification. Double tap
WhatsApp
to activate. Double
is
tap and hold to
WhatsApp.
long press. Email. Double tap to activate. Double tap and hold to long
Email
press.
I used
Actions
to use
available.
for
Use tap with 3
voicemail
fingers to view.
because I was never able to set up voicemail on this Pixel.
YouTube has 2 notifications.
YouTube is
Double
self-explanatory.
tap to YT Music.
YouTube
Double
Music
tap
is
to
also
activate. Double tap and hold
self-explanatory.
to Zedge. Double tap
And
to activate.
Zedge is
Double tap and hold to long
self-explanatory.
press. Zello. Double tap to
Zello is a
activate. Double tap
walkie-talkie
and
app,
hold to
and
long
nobody
press.
uses it
Actions
anymore.
available.
It's kind of
Use
like
tap with 3
Skype,
fingers
where
to
it's
view.
kind of died out. So I have no idea why I still have it on this device.
Zoom.
Zoom
Double
is
tap to activate. Double
self-explanatory.
tap. Search. Zoom.
Zoom, and then
Search.
you've got your
Voice search.
search, voice search,
Mom McRae from Message. Mac.
and it'll tell you your notifications. So that is it for today, folks. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I'm sad to say every chord is not available on Android, so I was not able to share my screen the way that I was able to broadcast it on the What's on My iPhone video. So if I was holding the camera in an awkward position, I am so sorry. Well, that would be all for my Pixels, my Pixel 4. And next, you will probably get to see the tablets that I have. See you later, Technogators.